Hey everyone, I know it's been 2 weeks since the last time y'all saw me, but I've been kind of busy with school. I'm doing graphics design class, as a couple of you guys probably saw on my blog site that I put up one of the assignments I did for that is making a 4-page menu. I will put that up again and kind of do some walkthroughs for that after we finish this Maya concept. So you guys can look out for new things and ideas that I've come up with and have learned. So we're gonna, as you can see, I kinda, or not kinda, I have completed most of the coloring for Maya, our Maya concept. And as you can see, I did from the last time, it was not so filled in. And right now we're gonna kind of work on finishing up the swords and add the eyes, do the coloring for that, and of course the feet. So that is the plan, and hopefully I get this all done in the time frame. So here we go. Now you guys are probably wondering, well, okay, its skin color is like brown. It's a brown skin color. If I turn off the actual shading, you kind of see it looks weird. Now the reason I have the shading is so that it gets that, not that washout color. Some people like this idea. I prefer it's dark because the background is going to be the night sky that's back here, so that will be there, so it won't be invisible as it is, so the opacity will be higher so that that background is there. So that's the plan. So we're going to, since we got the color of the skin, come here, do the feet. Actually, I want to do this on a separate layer, just in case I do something stupid. So, for the feet, I know you guys are probably going to be like, well, it has no toes, so how's that going to work? It actually is going to work pretty easily. You're not really going to see the toes in this concept because it's going to be pretty quick. As some of you guys know, the setup of the feet is not the priority. It's more of, you gotta make sure that I'm trying to do step back. Oh well, I can do it this way. So the feet isn't really gonna be defined to see like how on the hands you can see each finger. Kind of just see where the big toe would be and where the ankle bone will be, so that's what you will see. So of course, you know, this is where the feet are. Back here is going to be lighter, of course, because of the lighting. Come here. So through this, I'm gonna kind of stop talking. So you're probably gonna be like, "Yay, no talking." No, it's joking. Anyways, but there's really no need because it's the same process that I was doing in the last video, and that's fill in where it's gonna be dark, fill in where it's gonna be light to get the finalization of this Maya concept. Now the hard part for me, though, I will state, is the face, because sometimes even though I know where the eyes are going to be, I know all that, I still have this tendency to always want to change him. So I'm going to try and not do a ton of different versions of eyes, try and just stick with one. If it becomes a problem, I will kind of, move on and not deal with it. So, or there are some concepts out there that I've noticed or have seen that the eyes are kind of just basic because it's a concept, not a finalized artwork. And since this is kind of like going to be finalized and also a concept, we're going to actually do that. So we will show the actual finalization of all this, except for the toes. As I said, toes you're not really going to notice. I'm going to see, so I need blur. It's right about here. So you want to darken right about there is where that would be. And then you have your toe, of course. We're going to do it this way. And then here's the other ankle. Your toes. Looks kind of odd, but and you want to add a little bit of light here, because that's where the light is hitting, but not too much. We're gonna hit. Best way to do that is go here. Ugh, it's a little too much. So that would be your feet. Okay, I'm gonna merge it. Merge this. Control J. Oops. Not Control J. Had a derp moment. Control J is to duplicate a layer, and I forgot that's what it is. So. We want to go as light as possible down here. So now when it comes to the sword, you're gonna notice that there's gonna be spots that is gonna be darker, just like reflection. I'm gonna make this lighter. Don't want it as light as the actual shading that's in the background. You kind of just want it to be just a tad. And the reason is, what's going to happen, we'll turn this off real quick, is when you actually see the lighting on it, it will look whiter. How to fix that is you use the dodge tool, and the dodge tool will actually give you that extra shine on the top where we will need it to be. So add, this gets all colored in. Now you're probably wondering, like, well, why not just color color it all one color and then do it. You can do that and just use, like, of course, the dodge and burn tool. Then you have to watch it. If you do too much burning and dodge using the dodge tool, you get this weird light effect that happens sometimes, which is basically the what that light effect is. It starts to pixelate. I still don't know why it does that. Like, I can't really explain it too well, I guess you could say. I have the idea of why. It's because you're destroying the pixels to make it look more solid, so to speak. So we're gonna make sure all of this is dark. I actually want to remove these black lines as much as possible because they're kind of not needed, so to speak. Alright. So, there we go. So, you guys have probably seen that weird delay of erasing. It's because I think I need to change my batteries in my keyboard. There we go. So, when we turn it on, you're going to kind of see that, and we don't really want this here. There we go. I mean, up close you're not going to notice the line, but that's kind of what you want to do. And we're going to do the same thing with this one. Undo. Okay. That's good enough. We're going to oops. And there. Kind of a little jaggedy, but we'll fix the lining in a moment once it's all done. Okay, so we're going to deselect, Control D, and adjust. So right here is kind of where you're gonna see that I am working on the actual eyebrow. We're gonna work on the face. That's the plan here. As you notice, I haven't done anything with the hair. The hair is gonna be a little challenging, but we're gonna come in here. Want to use the burn tool here to get the eyebrows. Actually, I'm going to also add the burn here. Okay, so right here we're working on getting the eye color. I mean, this is not full gold, but it's to the type of gold that I'm looking for. And I kind of forgot which one I wanted to do, which I was which. I know I said one's gold, one's silver, but I actually... Excuse my forgetting of which is which. So that's why it's kind of paused. Oh well, I think what I will do, so this is pretty easy to fix later if I realize it's not the color I want. Oops, forgot to put on brush. Thought I was on brush. So you want to have one gold eye. So it's going to look really dark right now. And then the other one is silver. What we're going to do is turn this off so we can see that. Alright, so we'll use the burn tool to kind of define where each pupil is. I think I'm gonna go a little bit lighter because they're supposed to be silver, not like gray. So I'm gonna come here. Yeah, that's better. That looks more silver. What we can do is, well, for when it comes to eyes, it's not going to be this pure, solid color. Oops, zoomed in a little too much. Going to be, I think this needs to be a little brighter. I think that's good enough. What you can always do when it comes to the eye is use the burn. This is what you'll do, is use the burn tool and the dodge tool to get it exactly the color you need for your eyes. So on all eyeballs, the outside's darker, and Then there's the pupil inside. And in this aspect, the pupil is actually going to be just darker. So what you want is to be like so. And because they're like slits in Miya's case, so it's going to be like this. And we'll go to the dodge tool, shrink this. Okay, we're gonna use this not the burn tool but the sponge tool. And this gets kind of like you know, with burnt parchment you get this slight setup, so you kinda can see the lighting areas. And now use the burn. You want to do an in between each lighted section. I know you can't really see it, but on everybody's pupil there's this like weird shine around it, and that's basically what I'm working on here. Is in between the lighting areas, you have that. So, but you're not going to see it up close. So from afar, you're going to notice that there's one silver, one gold. Now this is where it's going to be different. I'm gonna add light here. And when you turn it on, you're gonna see it like that. So those will be our eyes. So actually what I'm gonna do for again is kind of stop talking and then work on the hair, and then we'll have our finalized Miya, or more or less finalized concept of Miya herself, and then I'll work on the background. So hope you guys continue to enjoy this, working on the hair part. So now this is where we're going to add the background. And change things up a little bit of this background. Now I want to keep the moon, as you can see, but we're going to actually get rid of all this grass. And the best way to do that is basically you'll take the lasso tool, and how I do it is I just lasso around that and delete. As you can see, we now have the moon part. What we want to do is actually take this half, and we want to actually there we go. Now if I move this, you're going to see that it has pieces still from before. So we're just going to leave it as is. We could, there's a couple of things you can do. Just do this, stretch this a lot bigger, as you see, but then the moon's like huge. We don't want that. We want to keep the moon that size, and we want to just take the background. But we also want to, this background, as you can see, oops, thought I was on zoom here, it has this, it's coming through on the clothes. We don't want that, so we will actually have to erase a lot of it, of the background itself. And what I am going to do is this. Make a duplicate of this layer. And the reasoning of this is, I mean, a lot of people will probably, oh, you just move like the main layer above it. You can do that, and as you see, it puts it, you can't see the background at all because my original background is white. And you can, there's a couple things you can do, is just take an eraser and erase all this. But that will take forever to do, so what I think is the best thing to do is, as I said, make a duplicate layer. So we have our duplicate layer. We'll turn off the original, deselect, and on this copied layer, this is where we will actually remove the unnecessary pieces that we do not need, which is right here. We do not need all down here is not needed. Actually, a little trick is to reselect, or Control Shift D, Alt Shift D will reselect everything that we did before, and we could just go like that. Huge eraser. We're erasing all of this because we don't need it. See, all of this gets erased. So you don't want to see any of that original background of grass, because we don't want the grass. That's the thing. We want to have your gray background. And now we can deselect. And this is where it's going to be a little bit more tricky. Again, we're going to erase all that background on top of the actual Miya concept. So we don't want the gray background, we don't want the gray or the grass. We want this to be smooth. To mainly the middle, because it's not going to reflect anything. all in here. This little grass thing here. Grass thing. And this right there. Now we're removing the grass because we don't really want the grass there. But we want this. Clear up the face. Moving all that weird background of the sky. Don't want early on our person, so to speak. There. So you can see. That's our background. And this upper half, we could actually just, this is what I am going to do. This is not the main way to make your actual background, but we're going to duplicate this. We just want a piece of the texture. I'm gonna do this. I think we'll do a square, just take that. I'm going to control C of that duplication, and then we're going to, oops. So you see, it gets filled in. Ooh, that's what it was. I'm going to do that on this layer, Control C, and pull it from there. And we're going to Control T this to here. It's going to be a little overlap, and that's kind of what we want. Fill out the rest of the page. There we go. We're gonna Shift Select D. Oops. Undo. Reselect. Control Shift D there. We're gonna actually adjust this just a tad. I want it to escape over. Okay, and we're gonna deselect there. So that's one way you can do it. There's another way, and that is we're going to take this and we're going to clone stamp it, this texture, if it would allow me to. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Sometimes it doesn't want to do that, but you can clone stamp it if you set it As you can see, I'm having a little issue, and I'm just not going to worry about it. I do like the original setup that I did, which is to do this. As you see, there's kind of like these weird green spots. Those weird green spots are actually from the original the copy, not the original image. So under the copy, we're going to erase all these like green, because we do not need that. So it'll look weird. Also, kind of want to erase all this here. Again. I'm going to zoom out besides that little random square. It's going to have this gray. We're going to just duplicate I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. If I really like that background or not. I'm going to stick with this. I think I'm actually going to do that. So that looks better. And leave the bottom gray. It's not like a need. Okay. And that's actually kind of what I want to do for the background, is to do it like that and leave the gray ground. There's a reason for that. I like it better. And here out, you kind of can do whatever you want. For me personally, for my concept, this is pretty much the end as of right now, until I decide of anything different. So hope you guys continue to enjoy my next works that will be coming after this one. And that's the end for Miya concept. Later.